Welcome to SS2 Literature in English. Today we study the relationship between sound and meaning in poetry, how poets deliberately choose words for the sounds they make, and how those sounds affect our experience of meaning. Poetry is not just about what words say, it is also about what they sound like. Sound devices are the musical tools of poetry. Mastering these tools is essential for WAEC literature. Poetry has its roots in oral tradition. Poems were recited and sung before they were written down. Even in written poetry, skilled poets engineer the sound of their poems as carefully as they engineer the meaning. Sound in poetry creates emotional affects, gentle sounds versus harsh sounds. Reinforces meaning, the sound supports what the words say. Creates rhythm and musical quality. Aids memory, rhyme and repetition make lines memorable. In WAEC, questions on poetic language always appear. You must identify techniques and explain their effect on meaning. Alliteration, the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of closely placed words. Example, the fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, courage, the repeated B and F sounds create a rushing, fluid effect that mirrors the movement of the ship through the sea. Example from Nigerian poetry, Wole Soyinka /S lines often use alliteration to build intensity. Affect, creates musicality, emphasizes connected ideas, mirrors physical or emotional actions. Assonance, the repetition of the same vowel sounds in nearby words, does not need to rhyme. Example, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, the repeated long sound creates a flowing, musical quality. Example, hear the mellow wedding bells, the repeated E sound creates a soft, gentle effect. Consonance, the repetition of consonant sounds, but not necessarily at the beginning of words, anywhere in the word. Example, he struck a streak of luck, the repeated CK and STR sounds create sharpness and emphasis. Assonance focuses on vowels, consonance focuses on consonants, anywhere in the word. Onomatopoeia, words that imitate or sound like the thing they describe. Examples. The bees buzzed in the blossoming meadow, buzz sounds like a bee /s sound. The thunder crashed, crash sounds like the noise. The river murmured softly, murmur mimics the gentle sound of water. The guns cackled, Okigbo /s famous line, guns sound like laughing cackling. Affect, makes imagery vivid, brings sound into the poem, creates immediacy and physicality. Rhyme, the repetition of similar end sounds in two or more words. End rhyme, rhyme at the end of lines, most common. Internal rhyme, rhyme within a single line. Half rhyme / slant rhyme, imperfect rhyme, sounds are similar but not identical, e.g. love and move. Rhyme scheme, the pattern of end rhymes in a poem, labeled with letters, A for first sound, B for second different sound. Example. Shall I compare thee to a summer /s day? A. Thou art more lovely and more temperate, B. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, A. And summer /s lease hath all too short a date. B. Rhyme scheme equals above. Common schemes. ABAB, alternating, Shakespearean stanza. ABB, couplets. ABBA, envelope rhyme. Free verse, no fixed rhyme scheme. Rhythm, the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables that gives poetry its musical quality. Meter, the formal, measured pattern of rhythm in poetry. Key metrical patterns. Iambic, unstressed then stressed, the DUM, shall I /compare DTO /SUM mere /SD, iambic pentameter, 5 iambs per line, most common in English poetry. Trochaic, stressed then unstressed, DUM. Anapestic, 2 unstressed then 1 stressed, the DUM. Spondy, 2 stressed syllables, dum-dum, creates heaviness. Free verse, poetry without a fixed meter or rhyme scheme, rhythm comes from natural speech patterns and phrase lengths. Common in modern poetry and much African poetry. How to analyze sound in a WAEC poem question. 1. Identify the sound device, alliteration, assonance, onomatopoeia, rhyme, rhythm. 2. Quote the relevant lines/words. 3. Describe the sound affect, harsh, soft, rushing, heavy, musical. 4. Explain how the sound reinforces or contrasts with the meaning. Example answer. The poet uses alliteration in backslash, battered by brutal blows backslash, to create a percussive, harsh sound that mirrors the violence described, emphasizing the repeated impact of the blows. Summary of poetic language, sound and meaning. Sound devices are intentional choices that reinforce meaning and create emotional effects. Alliteration, repeated initial consonant sounds musicality, emphasis, physical mirroring. Assonance, repeated vowel sounds flowing, musical, emotional effects. Consonance, repeated consonant sounds, anywhere in word. Onomatopoeia, words that sound like their meaning vivid imagery, immediacy. Rhyme, end rhyme, internal rhyme, half rhyme, rhyme scheme labeled ebi, etc. Meter, iambic, most common in English, WM, free verse, no fixed pattern. WAEC technique, identify, code, describe, sound, explain, affect on meaning.